Tachibana. I butcher your name, but say it right, so I can pronounce it right.
Yes. Tachibana.
Oh, Tachibana. Man, that sounds cool.
Yeah.
Tachibana La. I always get your name
Tachibana
wrong.
Love. That's a lady killer name right there. It's still no. Tachibana Love. Dr. Tachibana Love. Podcast. We got Chris here. We got Christopher Love, CEO of the Chris with Class. So just for our man, I am just so happy you're here. It's sexy with Class.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, Sexy with Class Radio,
Yes,
Sexy with Class magazine group. The brother is on a roll, and I'm glad to be just a part of it. You're a well-respected clinical, I want to say sociologist, right?
Yeah. Well, I minored in biology, and then I majored in psychology and sociology. So yeah, it was a lot of that thrown in there. Yeah.
So you actually did both. You did psychology and psychiatry.
No. It was I learned sociology and psychology together.
Okay.
Yeah.
I remember taking classes in that, man. That's like studying people, their behaviors, and you do it in Okay.
Yeah. It was really cool. It really helped me put a lot of things in perspective, particularly concerning these women's behavior.
That's why he's an international Mac Daddy.
That's what I'm saying. You can tell that, man. The guy can back it up, Chris. The guy got education and experience to back it up. So that's what we got to have his energy here.
Too smooth to be true.
This is the topic we're talking about today. It's been out since last year, but for some reason, and I really wasn't gonna bring it up, guys, but it's the whole taking the knee thing. It's been like all up in the NFL. I don't think the NBA is gonna have that problem, but today the Cowboys are playing, and I purposely am not watching. I don't even know the score. I don't even know if they took a knee or not. I want to know what's gonna happen because the owner, Jerry was saying, anybody. I'm paraphrasing what he said. Anybody of my organization, any of my team members, my players take a knee, that they're not gonna play. Or in other words, I guess he's just gonna ignore their contract and keep them out of a job. I don't foresee that happening, but I was wondering, do you guys think it's disrespectful though? Because it started off with Colin Kaepernick as protesting the senseless murders of unarmed black people who have gone on for years. He started it last year, and that was the reason why he started the protest. But now it's morphed into something else about disrespecting the flag and the national anthem and military veterans. I'm an Air Force veteran myself. I'm not offended by it. I know that we got the right to protest. It's the First Amendment, freedom of speech. And him taking a knee is exercising freedom of speech. So, you guys let me know. Do you think it's disrespectful?
Yeah. Well, I would like for him to take it to another level with it. Like, okay. I would like him to take it to a level of things that's affecting things like us as a people. Like, I would want him to take it to like black on black crime. I would want him to take it on. Well, okay, here's another thing I could say. How about take all those millionaires that are bending their knee? Why not take some money and invest it in our community? How about that? I mean, if you have like a grand state, like you have all these people looking at you, you have all this attention, why not take that attention and flip money in our neighborhoods? Why not start helping us learn how to business?
So I'm trying to get out of here. How businesses?
I'm pretty sure they would, but you gotta think about a lot of these NFL players, man. They got like 5 or 6 kids, so they already give their money to the community.
That's true. That's true.
But I'm not offended by them taking the knee. I mean,
and neither am I. I'm not
the history
offended
of the flag and the history of America. When we see what's happening, in HD, you know, right on your telephone. So, you should support them. But yeah, it should be like Doc said, you know, like a second tier. You know, also black on black crime as well, and all that stuff.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of issues.
How much show do we have over that? As far as to influence these professional ballers to how, I hate to use the cliche, give back to the community, but just to start businesses. It's a business, they're going to want something on the back end. They're going to want a percentage of the business that they help start or something. They may be signing partners, or do you feel they should just, you know, start nonprofits or just give money away to small business owners, to black small business owners who may want to just start their own business? You think they just give them the money, or go on and sign partners, or just give them like a loan?
Well, I think that they could take some initiative to just help people start businesses, some sort of non-profit organizations or something like that, or like just go into communities and help our people learn some sort of skill. You know, it's the jobless rate is like tremendous in the black community. So I think that there are a lot of if you're gonna take that, I kind of think that the whole I can understand the police brutality of blacks and all of that, but it just also is like he has this platform now that he can just kind of dwell in the issues that challenge our community, the things that we don't want to look at. You know, like a lot of us turned the other cheek to the drug dealers. A lot of us turned the other cheek to like black women have the highest abortion rate amongst all women. So it's a lot of things. There's a lot of things that he could, even the AIDS rate, the STD rate is higher concerning black women. It's a lot of things that he could bring to in terms of an internal view of our community.
Well, I think
I just think that
what you're saying is good, but I think that's also too much of a heavy burden for one man to carry for one race of people. Like, you know, we got a lot of adults that should also help and take responsibility of our communities as well. You know, we just don't sit back and let the drug dealers take over the whole community and put the whole community under drugs and fear, you know, that type of oppression. And so, like, to put that whole responsibility on Kaepernick, man, that's turning him to another Jesus.
Or Muhammad, it's what makes the guy is it a good thing, you think, to make these guys are a savior to our black people, to like, you know, like to go in and get the ball rolling, because that is a lot of responsibility. I mean, you started yourself with the black on black crime. I got my own issues with that terminology, but I mean, far as the crime rate with us, how much control do we have over that, as far as individuals? Because I can only say that I grew up on the East Coast and the West Coast, and there's always people around shooting and gang violence. I take it as a decision I made on my own. I had my mother and my father. I was very blessed, so I know I can't remove that factor. We were with one of the few families that had a father in a home, and I think it made a big difference. But also, I made a decision on myself that I wasn't going to get caught up in that. I wasn't going to be getting people pregnant at 14, even though I saw my neighbors doing it. You know, I wasn't going to do it. You know what I'm saying? As much as I wanted to, you know, get with the young ladies, I didn't want none of them in my hood, because it just wasn't going down, man. I saw too many of them. They would have the baby and stay home and get caught up in the system. And I saw 3 generations of it, you know. The girls my age was 14, 15, the mama, the grandmama. Grandmama be under 40 years old, you know, having all these babies. You know? So that has an effect on the product that we got in 2017. But as far as cops shooting down black people, you think that that's an excuse? But people always say black on black crime, but what does that got to do with the police state, you know, shooting unarmed black people, and then they get a 2-week vacation, paid leave, and they get exonerated? Not some of the time, not most of the time, but all of the time.
Well, I think more black men and women should go to police academies and pick up what's called law enforcement academy, and patrol their own communities. But a lot of people of color don't like to become officers because they got the stigma about it.
That is true. That is true.
Yeah.
Well, how come we? Oh, go ahead, Doc.
Go ahead. No, go ahead. Just finish your thing.
I didn't want to cut you off, Doc. Go ahead.
No. Oh no, I was gonna say it's also like the whole part of the national anthem that's not said, that talks about oppression and slavery, that I think he's also oppressing. Well,
I forgot about that part. I really did. That third verse, right? That was the move.
Yeah. So that's, I guess I had that little bit of rebel in me too, because I used to get in trouble at school when I was like through elementary to high school. I never would say the Pledge of Allegiance. I guess I was doing doing Roots. When Roots was on, I was so angry.
I remember I was 14, but that one was yours.
Yeah.
I used to lip sync the pledge, partly because I didn't know the words. I really didn't know the words, but I used to just move my mouth like I was saying them, but actually I didn't know the words. But I remember when Roots came out, I didn't even lip sync it. I was just going like standing up. I go through the motion, but I wouldn't even try to say it. I wouldn't try to say it.
Yeah.
And I was bused to an all-white school, so it was really like a pressure on him. He was standing out, you know.
Yeah.
How did you handle that? You were in school and you were just taking a stance back then.
Yes. I was like 9 or 10 years old, and that's when Roots was on when I was watching it. Well, that's when it came out, like during the early 80s and late 70s. So when it came on, I was just a very angry little boy. I was so angry that I used to get in trouble because I used to just beat up white kids. It just used to just infuriate me to see what they put us through. That I used to just go to school and there's one guy named Aaron. I used to just whoop his ass. I just was just angry back then. But no, I never would say it because I was like, how could I say that? How could I pledge to something that oppressed and made our people slaves, and we still don't have really no equal rights? So I never would say it. And I used to get that called to school, and
that's what I was going to ask you. What happened when Pops found out, man?
My dad was always like a person that would just like, oh, okay, well, whatever. He just would just like brush under the rug. He would say the parent in front of the people, but he would never like spank me or yell at me about it. So it was just like, oh, whatever. I guess he would relate to it.
Of disciplining you in front of those people, I guess, right?
He would just say, he would say, son, you need to get a pledge, whatever. So see, my dad was coming from the Jim Crow era. And he was coming from an era where there were no civil rights. He used to tell me stories about like when he used to go do work for white people, and then when it would rain, he would be sitting in the back of the truck, and they would have the dog sitting in the front seat of the truck while he sat in the back in the rain. So he could identify with the rebel in him. Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, he told me stories. He told me when he went into World War II, he was over there in Britain fighting. And he used to have to fight the Germans during the day and fight the white American soldiers at night.
Man.
So yeah. And he said when he was coming back from England to over here, he was crying on the airplane because he's coming back to like post-slavery and no civil rights and colors only. So it was like, why would I be going back? Why would I go fight for them to go back to that? Yeah.
And you grew up hearing that, so man, that had to affect how the man that you are today.
Yeah, it affected me tremendously to hear a lot of those stories that he experienced as a child and as a man. So yeah, even when he was in the service, he experienced a lot of racism. So yeah, it was pretty rough for him. So that's
I remember,
why. I'm sorry.
I have the same story for my father. He was back between 50 and 53. You know, that was between South Korea and North Korea.
Yeah.
And he showed me the pictures, like, you know, little black and white photos and frames. They had segregated military police, guys. Segregated, that means they have the black MPs. They can go break up fights like in the UCR clubs, the bars, but they can only arrest the black soldiers. Whereas the white MPs, they can arrest any color of soldier. And he was telling me them stories, and I was like, what? And I was like 9 or 10 years old. It didn't really sink into my head until I went to the airport myself. And I went in 1981, and that's the first thing I thought of was, and of course it wasn't segregated like that, but there was always racism in the services. My daughter's in the Army, and I'm sure she's got stories to tell. I mean, it's not maybe as overt as it was back then, but it's still there. And under the Uniform Code of Military Justice, the UCMJ, so they have to say the Pledge of Allegiance. They don't say it, but they have to pledge to that flag. They have to. Or they get court-martialed, so they go to jail. So, but it's like I said in the beginning, it's like I don't see it as disrespect. You know, but how do you guys think, and Chris, you can weigh on this too, how do you think that it turned into what it is now, where it's supposedly disrespecting the veterans and the flag itself? I mean, how much weight do you think goes on to that, or you think they're just trying to use it for distracting us?
I mean, I think the reason why it's still existence today is because they're trying to overlook it and say it's about the flag. It's not about the flag, because when it first started, Colin Kaepernick talked with a soldier, and he suggested instead of sitting down and kneel, it would show more respect. And that was, I think it was a Navy SEAL guy. But yeah. But now
I can't.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. I said the guy's name. I just can't think of it now. But it was a Navy SEAL, I think. Yeah. Or maybe it was a Green Beret. The guy he was an elite. He was in the elite military unit, and I think he's the one who gave me the idea to take the knee, because that's out of respect for their fallen comrades.
Yeah.
I believe that's how the story went.
Yeah, I think it's very tough for the powers that be to go out and say, you know what, this is what it is. You know, they just overt racist. So I think that's why they try to convert the story over about the flag, because, you know, are we prepared?
I'm surprised how many people I'm surprised how many people are falling for it, Chris. I'm surprised people are falling for it.
Well, America's not that smart, brother.
Look who our leader is. We got elected. Oh my goodness. I have to laugh because it's so embarrassing.
It is embarrassing.
We have a caller in. Can you give your first name? Welcome to Love Brother Podcast.
This is Mervin. How you doing?
Pardon me? Who?
Brother Mervin.
Mervin. Hey, Merv.
Hey, what's up, bro?
What's happening, guys? How you doing?
Marvin. Hello, Marvin.
Welcome to meeting Tatibana, the Doc on the crew, making us legitimate. First day on.
That's right.
What's your take on this, brother?
Hey, I just joined you. I just joined right now. I didn't even get to hear what the subject matter is.
Oh, it was the people of talking about this ongoing thing that Kaepernick started last year about taking a knee in protest to black people being shot down in cold blood by the unarmed by police. Is that disrespectful to protest like that during the game? Or period?
No, it's not. It's not disrespectful. You've got to get your point across. And when else would he protest in the locker room after the game? Yeah, we've got a serious problem here, and it seems like it's unarmed black men being shot. And he seems to have the heart to care about it. And you got a bunch of old 80-year-old white owners who don't really. That don't care. All they care about is their money. So
their bottom line.
Yeah, I'm glad other guys in the league and other leagues are picking up on it too. So he's done a good thing. He sacrificed his career for this, but I think he'll have other things in the future for himself. If he would want to be in politics or something like that, he'll certainly. I'm sure he's gained a lot of support where he could do.
I've never thought about that, Mervin. You're right. He might have a career in politics now.
I mean,
I never thought of that.
Yeah,
he's definitely not getting picked up by any NFL teams. I was hoping some team would pick him up by now, but
yeah, he's gonna have to enter
fans
the
in
field.
Green Bay had over 10.
I apologize. I was gonna say he's gonna have to enter the field of politics in order to play the game for change.
Oh, wow.
Man.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just the perfect timing for him. I don't know how long he could wait to get into it, but I mean, And I'm guessing he'll come in as an independent. I don't know.
Well, we definitely need new blood in Washington. So he would definitely. We need new blood, but
young blood.
We need young blood too. You're right, but we elect a lot of people with silver spoons in their mouths that can't relate to the working people anyhow. And
that's an understatement.
Yeah,
true. That's an understatement.
Yeah, but I think we may not know it, but he may have already made a difference. I don't know what's going on inside police departments, but I'm sure the captains of these police departments are saying, "Hey, we don't want video on Facebook. We don't want to go there." So I'm sure there's been some, at least inside police departments, there's been some pressure put on officers to clean up their acts. But we'll see. I don't know. We'll just see how it goes.
Well, it all stems from leadership. I mean, that's what I've learned just through life. All these problems, it's not the bottom up, guys. It's from the top down, and it starts with leadership. It's the whole culture of how they handle their professions. They're in a state of reactionary management instead of, but they're supposed to be first responders, not first reactionaries. They're already going into the job with a fear, and Doc, you can back me up on this. A fear is basically what a phobia is, right? It's a fear of black people, black men in general. They have a fear. Automatically think that we're going to be a threat to them.
Yeah, I really think that's what America is a construct of. That America has basically denigrated and painted a picture of black people as being horrible, unstable, unemotional, angry people. You see that all the time in the media. You see that all the time through, if you look through history books, white women are taught to always fear black men. So it's we're always presented as being unstable and just difficult to deal with. I deal with that all the time at my job. It's just these white people, they'll approach me